This is part 5 of spiritual warfare. We got a spiritual maturity. I'm so used to dealing with warfare to I'm just that this automatically comes out of my mouth, but it's spiritual maturity. And we are at part 5, and we're out of the book of Jonah this morning. Previous messages are on my page should you desire to go back to listen to them so that they can be a blessing to you. We're talking about the fact of having to develop in the spirit, because it's very important that we develop in the spirit. I need to make sure that I share something that I'm going to share with every message that I do. Spiritual maturity is completely different from natural maturity. Natural maturity, you automatically do. Spiritual maturity, you have to make a choice to do. You have to decide to do it. It is not something that is just going to happen. The day you were born, you automatically just begin to develop and begin to grow. Nobody had to, put in a request for you to grow, for you to develop. It automatically just takes place. Well, spiritual development, no, it does not happen like that. You have to make a decision, because that is the born again process. That is the rebirth that has to take place. So it is a decision that you have to make. Today, what I want to talk about is I want to show us how when we don't mature, we hurt ourselves. That's what I want to show us. I want to show us how spiritual immaturity causes us to hurt ourselves. So I'm going to use the book of Jonah this morning, Jonah chapter 1. Jonah chapter 1, and I'm going to start it at verse 1. Jonah 1 and verse 1. I'm going to show us, like I said, how we hurt ourselves, how we hurt ourselves when we do not mature as we ought to. It says, "Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise." He gets an instruction from the Lord, says, "Arise, get up, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me." I need you to go, and I need you to minister to them, Jonah. This is what I need you to do. I need you to go minister to them, because their time of deliverance has now come up before me. Somewhere, somehow, they've been crying to be free, and it has now come up before me. So I need you to go, and I need you to go, and I need you to be the one that I have anointed to go and to cry unto them. I need you to go, and I need you to preach a word to them, because how can they hear without a preacher? No change is going to come unless there is a word that is heard that brings about a change in our lives. So he gives Jonah an instruction. I want you to get up. You're the one I want. You're the one that I'm calling to do this. Get up, go, and I need you to preach a word of deliverance to them that will change their lives. So he gets an instruction from God. He gets an instruction from God. Please catch that. He gets an instruction from God. He did not get an instruction from some mere man, although God uses man. This young man hears specifically from God what he was to do. The instruction came clearly from God regarding what he was supposed to do. I'm going to show you today how we hurt ourselves. All right. He says, their wickedness has now come up before me. It's time for them to come out. Verse 3 starts out with a 3-letter word, which is a 3-letter conjunction, which is about to change the whole substratum of the way the Lord had established and set. It begins talking about a good thing. It says, "Now the word of the Lord came." The word of the Lord came unto Jonah. So it starts out talking about God is making conversation with Jonah, gives Jonah an instruction. Good morning to y'all. Gives Jonah an instruction to say, hey, get up. There's nothing greater than the voice of the Lord talking to you and the Lord desiring to use you. That is an awesome place to be in, y'all. So he says, get up. I want to use you. I got something for you to do. I want you to go down to Nineveh. I want you to holler at them. I need you to preach the gospel to them, because they've now come up for their time of deliverance. Their time of departure from sin is now at hand, and I need to use you to be able to be the one that will represent me to go and talk to them. But verse 3 says, but there was a but, and what always gets us in trouble is our own but. Your but can be your own enemy at times. But you know you should do something. You know you were supposed to, but your but will get in the way. The but moves in the way. So Jonah comes with a but. He's got instruction from the divine God now, not just a pagan God, not Dagon, but he's not the sun and the moon God, but he has a divine instruction from God. From God, has an opportunity to hear the voice of God. Many people desire to hear the voice of God. Many would say, I wish God talked to me. Jonah had precise word from the Lord. He had opportunity to hear divinely and directly, inclusively from the one true living God, from the Father. He hears that, but he gives God a but. He gives him a but. And it says, but Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. I need to tell y'all this morning, you ain't going to do nothing. I'm not going to do anything but hurt myself. That's all I'm going to do. That's the only thing that's going to happen. If there is a precise instruction, if there is a particular place the Lord has designed for you to be, you're not going to do anything but hurt yourself is what you're going to do. You're going to hurt yourself because he hastens to his word to perform it. He moves quickly to perform his word. So you're not going to do anything but hurt yourself. Jonah makes a decision that I don't want to preach to them. I want to go somewhere else. Can I talk to the hard-headed people this morning? Can I talk to those of you that don't want to be where you're supposed to be, don't want to do what you're supposed to do? You're going to flee somewhere else and think that you're fine fleeing. Well, let me tell you, baby, it is not going to work. And that is a part of spiritual immaturity. It means that you're not mature enough to take heed to what instruction has come your way. It means that you are literally someone that wants to only do things when it benefits you, only wants to be a part of something when it feels good to your flesh. If it does not feel good to you, or if it's with someone you have an issue with, then you don't want to do it. That is the reason why the Lord would say, feed your enemy when they are hungry, give them something to drink when they are thirsty, because he knew the mannerism that we would have in this flesh, and that it dwelleth no good thing inside of this flesh. So Jonah finds himself in a place of immaturity. He's exposed. His spiritual immaturity is exposed. It is exposed. Now, he would be someone that would literally be in a position as to where it seems as though God could use him. But look what happens as soon as God wants to use him in a manner that he does not like. Exposure takes place. It's real easy to give words to people, but it's not easy to take them for yourself. I'm going to say that one more time for the rodeo. It's real good to give words to people. It's very easy to give them to other folk. Thus said the Lord this, and the Lord showed me this. But it comes hard when it's time for you to deal with it yourself. There becomes an issue when it's time for God to deal with you about changing that something inside of you, about moving and relocating or shifting that something that is going on the inside of you. Many of us do not like the fact of when God deals with us, when God begins to challenge us. There is some things on the inside of us that yet still needs to be dealt with. Jonah, you got an opportunity to give a word to some people, boy, but there's still something on the inside of you that has not been worked out. There's still some reserve, some reservation. There's still some issues, I said it, yes, on the inside of you that have not been dealt with. And God is saying, okay, in order for me to get that, I'm going to send you right into a place that you do not want to go in. I'm going to send you right to a people that you do not want to deal with. I'm going to send you right there. And Jonah immediately comes up with a but. Comes up with a but. Integrity is exposed right there. His integrity is exposed right there. So easy, guarantee. Easy for him to run up on some folk that he's familiar with, or that some people do it with people that they feel dominant with. Folk that they think they are over, or they are greater than, think they're farther along spiritually than these folk. They're quick to run up on them to chop up something that the Lord would say, but he could not move when it came to these people. He could not go and do what was instructed for him to do when it came to these people. Verse 3, Jonah 1:3 says, but Jonah rose to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. Look where he was going. He was going to get away from the presence of the Lord. I'm trying to tell you as hard as I can this morning, it's only going to hurt you. That's what I'm trying to. You hurt yourself. You hurt yourself. That's all. Hey, I don't know no other way to put this. I don't have any other words. Maybe I should have looked up some other words to give a softer cushion for you or what have you. But it's only going to hurt you. Your disobedience, your lack of integrity, your not being disciplined, your refusal to obey, to move like you should. It is only going to hurt you, and it is a clear sign of spiritual immaturity. You cannot say that it was a natural immaturity, because it was a divine call from God, and God speaks to the spirit of man. So it was a spiritual immaturity that Jonah found himself in, because he was not complete. He was not whole. He was going through the motions and having the facade, as what many of us would do, have the facade until it is time for us to be called to the carpet, and then boom, there is a whole lot of issues that come. So he chooses to flee from the presence of the Lord, which was the most dangerous thing that he could do. It did not say that he flee unto Tarshish to get away from the people. It said he fled in order to get away from the presence of the Lord. Can I help y'all to understand something early this morning, to help you to know that when you do not do what you are supposed to do, you are fleeing from the presence of the Lord. It is not the people that you are getting away from. So you can't say, I'm getting away from Pastor Lee. No, baby, you're getting away from the presence of the Lord, because what the Lord is going to be whatever his assignment is. You cannot say, I'm getting away from this particular place, this church, or whatever you want to call it. You can't say, I'm getting away from there. I know, sweetheart, you're getting away from the presence of the Lord. Somebody need to be bold enough to tell you the truth, and I be that one. I'm that one, okay, that is willing to tell you the truth. No, you're getting away from the presence of the Lord. It's what you are doing. And although you may think that because you left that you are still secured in things, no, baby, it doesn't work like that. It is just like the prodigal son. When he left with all the knowledge that he had obtained, but it didn't take long for the world to whoop it out of him, and he ended up with nothing. He ended up bankrupt spiritually and naturally. So it's not going to take long for you to lose all that you feel like you are running out there with. It is a very dangerous thing, you all. You need to hear me with your spirit this morning. It is a very dangerous thing for you to make decisions to do what you want to do and to not carry out the instructions of the Lord. It does not show any type of maturity, but what it shows is a immaturity. Jonah set himself up to say, I'm not going to do what I've been instructed to do, and it had nothing to do concerning those people. It did not cause any harm to those people, because the Lord had already determined what he was going to do for those people. Let me tell y'all something that think that when you don't do something that you heard in the past, or that you hurting the body that you are a part of, baby, can I tell you something? You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself, because the Lord will send it from somewhere else. The Lord will add from another place in order to make sure that what needs to happen take place, and it happens. You are only setting up yourself. That's what you're doing. You are only putting yourself in demise. I'm trying to tell you this morning that you're only hurting yourself. That's my subtopic on spiritual maturity. You hurt yourself. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's not going to stop. Nineveh was still going to be blessed. You better hear what I'm saying. Nineveh was still going to get deliverance because their cry was unto the Lord. Their cry was unto the Lord. They was crying unto him